So this is really interesting. Sort of piqued my interest, this particular thing. There's some news around Crimea. There's an umbilical cord which the Russians have relied on. It's been bombed a couple of times. And it's in the news because the Russians have used a very innovative way of protecting this particular piece of infrastructure. Now, we've had the Russians with the glide bombs. It's an old bomb. They put a fin on the back, some intelligence, so it does some sort of clever things, but it's, cheap and nasty. They're covering their tanks in tin cans to protect them. And now they're using barges to protect this. What on earth is going on?
I know, and then so the story was that barges, I think there's about 11 of them, being sunk around a section of the Kerch road bridge. That's the rail bridge that links Crimea to Russia, longest bridge, about 13 miles, I think, in Europe. Because it's been attacked by the Ukrainians several times, the most vulnerable part of this 13-mile bridge is the bit that shipping can go in through. So most of the bridge is just slabs laid on pylons, and it's pretty easy to repair. The difficult bit is a bit that's elevated, that's got all sorts of fancy engineering in to get high enough to allow shipping through. Now that is the vulnerable, that would take a long time to fix. So an effort to stop the Ukrainians using their drones, their maritime surface drones to get through, the Russians have sunk a whole load of barges. Which they've done already
quite successfully.
Yeah. So back in, I think I've got the dates here, so back in July of 23, a load of drones attacked it, but back earlier than that, and we've got some footage, I think, to show you of October 22, when famously a lorry packed full of explosives literally blew up and took out a whole massive section of the bridge. Took it out of service for quite some time. Why is this story interesting though? Because first of all, it's not the first time people have sunk barges to protect things. It reflects Russia's concern about the security of that bridge. But actually, it's almost stopped using it. The last 3 months, there's been a whole load of surveillance done on it. And where Russia was regularly using it to resupply its forces through Crimea into southern Ukraine, those have almost dried up. There's very little traffic been going across that. Maybe some of that's because holidaymakers aren't quite so keen on going to Crimea. They used to go there, they don't now. But fuel supplies, ordnance. And what seems to have happened is Russia's gone, we're going to make this a less tempting target. So we're going to protect it by having some barges down. But they've actually been building rail links across from Russia through Mariupol and west, through the occupied areas. And they seem to be planning to use the rail network to resupply their
These are the occupied bits of Ukraine.
That's right, yeah.
Right. Which may not be permanent, given...
No, but they're building that infrastructure, and you sort of go, okay, why? And part of it, I suspect, is because it's quite difficult to target railway infrastructure. What I mean by that is you can deny it for a short time. If you hit it with a bomb, blow it up, you create a crater, you mash up the railway line. It doesn't take long to fill the hole in and lay some more track. Whereas a key part of the bridge would take the bridge out for ages. And I think what's been fascinating about this story is that Russia will not want to lose Crimea.
Or Putin won't.
Putin will absolutely not want to, because of the port of Sevastopol. And he knows that historically it'd be really difficult for Ukrainians to take it. But the way they take it, first of all, they'd have to stop Russia protecting the shores. And Russia has their dominant Black Sea fleet.
Which is nowhere to be seen at the moment.
Exactly. It's either at the bottom of the ocean or it's fled across to the Sea of Azov, to the east. Next thing they have to do is they have to take out some of the radars and the command and control network on Crimea. They've successfully destroyed the maritime headquarters of the Black Sea Fleet, and they've also been taking out radars. The other thing they have to do is cut off the umbilical that links Crimea to Russia. Haven't done that at the moment, but they've shown that they can do it.
Do you think they may actually mount an attack?
I think it all points towards creating doubt in Putin's mind.
Yeah.
Because if he thought that his actions, by putting all of his forces in the north, that he was leaving Crimea exposed, that could be, he won't think he can lose the war because he's taken territory, difficult to push him out. If he lost Crimea, he would see that as a loss, a failure. That is not just important because of the port, it's important because Peter the Great has all sorts of historical significance, and to lose that would be unthinkable. I wonder whether, they call it the military parlance, a central gravity. I do wonder whether Ukraine is just creating enough seeds of doubt in the mind. I wouldn't be at all surprised if we see a couple of efforts, not necessarily to take Crimea, but to threaten it.